Hello and welcome to the director's commentary for Hearts of Iron 4, the New American Century.
Yup.
I'm TJ Hafer.
I'm DM Schmeier. And we forgot to turn the microphone on when we recorded this.
The exact opposite problem of what happened last time is that instead of forgetting to check that the video was on, we did not activate the microphone. So we've got game sound here, and we're going to be recording commentary over the top of it.
So what is one of the things that we were dealing with here is trying to get the war with Colombia settled and trying to get a peace deal that actually made sense. We were unable to do so, as you're about to see.
Yeah.
And in Brazil, we were trying to avoid getting just utterly bogged down in jungle fighting, which we failed to do, as you will see.
Yeah, so here we're going to be fighting with the peace deal interface to try to prevent border gore, and we're going to also fail at that because Peru is just going to be like, no, I don't know, guys, I like border gore. So yeah, this is going to be an exciting couple of minutes of us trying to head off Peru's border gore.
Peru. What we think Peru was basically desperate for a Atlantic port.
Yeah,
was kind of our opinion.
Yeah, that's what it seems like they were going for, which makes
that might have been the entire reason they went to war.
That makes strategic sense.
It sure does.
Yeah.
I think it kind of makes it inevitable that we're going to have to fight them for it.
Yeah.
But even though we have the same ruling party, but that's their fault.
All right, so Venezuela, yeah, there. Okay, so we got the rest of it. They just didn't have to be so damn annoying.
I know.
Yeah, and then there were those little islands off the coast of Ecuador that we picked up.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna give them autonomy here soon anyway, so it's not like
Annexed,
it matters a ton.
Isla Sorna and Isla Nublar from the Jurassic Park films.
Yep.
I believe they were off the coast of Colombia.
We also invited Jeff Goldblum to participate in our government.
Yeah.
It was a short-lived experiment. We regret it deeply. What you need to do is go to war with the Kingdom of Canada. Canada, Entente, Andean Pact, Peru, Bolivia, La Plata. Where was I going with this?
But yeah, so our goal is that we're trying to figure out basically how to handle the logistics in South America because
they're
really shitty. They're actually really, really shitty. So a lot of this episode was spent trying to plan how we were going to use Marines to seize and hold the Brazilian coast. That's the hard part. With like the worst logistics situation in the history of man.
What's funny is it's really Brazil is not powerful, as is evidenced by the fact that we kick their butts in every engagement. Like every time our soldiers come to grips, we win, which is actually much like how Vietnam went. Like when you look at
here, this guy's about to sign his own death warrant. Let's just watch this. We did not give him an order to cross this river. For some reason,
He did.
I tried to draw a fallback line here so that they would not go do that.
He won an engagement, and he decided to pursue a defeated opponent and put himself in a tactically disastrous situation.
See, look, you saw me click the fallback line. I told him to fall back, and he just didn't. He didn't. He had to. He's
had to go for it.
Get his entire division killed.
I mean, the Amazon jungle is really Brazil's best defensive. Like our troops are superior, our equipment is superior, our tactics are superior. They're just fighting from the freaking trees, man, in awful weather across rivers in mud with disease, and we are just struggling with it and are trying to figure out a way around it. Is pretty much the entire puzzle here. There's no supply. The terrain is virtually impassable, and we're always attacking over rivers. That is literally those three things are the only reason we didn't roll over Brazil like we rolled over Mexico.
Yeah. By the way, our companion for this
Oh, yeah.
This recording session is some Old Chubb Scottish Ale from Oscar Blues Brewery, just about a half hour up
and
the
we
road.
are recording this after the debut episode of Classia's.
This is YouTube. We can say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, classy as fuck. Our visual, like we're sort of making this like on our podcasts and our streams and stuff. We're always enjoying fine food, fine beverage, fine potables.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to, expand that a little bit, combine it with some of the recipes we do on our website. So we did a little show where I made one of my favorite, like, sort of gamey, snacky meals. It's quick, it's easy, it's filling, it's delicious. And, you guys can catch that on our Facebook page. We will put it up on the website soon.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow or the next day.
Our Facebook Live stuff is going to be more probably focused a little bit towards the non-gaming stuff that we do, but
because a big part of our Facebook audience is not gaming oriented.
Exactly.
It's more fiction oriented, lifestyle oriented. But we are trying to bridge those networks, and we would sure love your support if you have any interest in it at all.
Yeah, definitely.
Go give Facebook a like, watch the videos.
But yeah, the beer that I recommended to drink with a teriyaki steak was some sort of a Scottish ale. So we went ahead and
one of the things I'll sell it on is the grocery bill will never exceed $20 for a classy meal. And if you're only feeding yourself and I'm feeding 4 people on that $20. That's $20 pre-tax. Let's be fair. But I'm feeding 4 people with that. If you're only feeding 1 or 2, I'm gonna tell you this right now, folks. You can make an incredible meal for $20 to $22.50 for one person. Like I have some tricks I can teach y'all to do some really tasty stuff. If that's something that interests you at all.
So we're sending a lot of troops that we were sending down to Brazil back because we realized there's not going to be enough supply for them.
And we have nothing here. We're trying to see what we own.
See if we could possibly take Ascension Island to start nuking Brazil. We determined it was out of range and also it's owned by Germany, so we would have to go to war with the
and we're really not ready to fight them.
Central Powers.
Yeah, we're really not ready to fight Middle Europa.
But yeah, so we're desperately trying to get these 2 Marine divisions out of the jungle, but they're being harassed the entire way
because they blundered into a salient across a river.
And these guys are about to lose the ground that they need to retreat into. I think
we're finishing off this focus tree.
Oh yeah, finishing reconstruction.
Because we really wanted that modifier recovering from the Civil War off. Our industry is the most potent in the world by far. Literally the only thing preventing it from going full on nuclear is that modifier, though, that debuff. So we want to remove that debuff, and it's funny because once we do, we recognize that there will never be enough rubber, steel, and aluminum to keep up with what we're doing.
Yeah.
But we're going to do that anyway. And here we have no interest in governing like these nations as occupiers, so we turn them to puppets.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We turn them to puppets.
Nice little puppets.
Because it's easier that way. And in the meantime, we are just desperately trying not to lose 2 veteran divisions of Marines.
It takes so long to get 2 divisions across a river from one jungle province to another jungle province. Especially while they're being attacked along the way. I do like that Hearts of Iron models that. we got rid of their attack order, figured we might try to use a spearhead order so that they wouldn't go running off into the jungle. But that's going to end up being... We're going to end up canceling,
too much too soon.
Canceling that order
this
too.
This just looked like, I mean, to use the historical corollary, this just looked like Vietnam or 2004 Iraq to us.
I would not want to ever be the country that has to invade Brazil. I don't think they've ever been
successfully invaded. They've been successfully colonized, but never invaded.
Yeah, like the modern nation state of Brazil.
I would say terrain, supply. Like, especially if partisans train themselves in jungle fighting, like the Viet Cong did, good luck taking it.
So here we're trying to move these guys in really quick so that they can secure the escape path, but they're getting counterattacked as well. So they just did a brilliant job here of cutting us off. The Hearts of Iron 4 AI is not always the smartest, but...
sometimes I think it has its master strokes.
Like this...
That was a master stroke.
we couldn't... There's nothing we can do at this point.
So what we did is, thankfully, and this was almost as much luck as skill, we had enough divisions left in Brazil to attack from the north and save our boys. If we'd have had 2 or 3 less divisions of Marines there,
Are you not remembering?
What?
No, they died.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
we're trying.
We tried, but they died.
If we'd had 1 or 2 less divisions, though, we wouldn't have even had the opportunity.
Yeah, we were trying to counterattack from the north, but
they might have driven us into the ocean.
Yeah,
honestly, had we not had the troops we had, and they surrendered.
Yep, they surrendered. So at that point, we're like, just get everybody.
Yeah,
get everybody off of this forsaken continent.
Yes.
Delete all orders and let's get our boys back home.
Where they're safe.
The strategy we were discussing at this point, by the way, good on our allies over here managing to actually take Fortaleza, however briefly.
But it obviously drew some Brazilian heat off of us, like it would have had to.
Yeah, we figured out that we figured out a way that if we use 4 separate Marine armies, that we could essentially capture some key spots on the Brazilian coast and kind of unite our forces in a way that made sense. If we used spearhead orders and we, fought intelligently, that's kind of where our thinking was going at this point. We were discussing possibly doing a landward invasion down through Peru and
just basically taking the
La
entire
Plata,
continent.
Which I was encouraging people to vote on our phones because DM felt that was justified, and I thought that since they're our same ideology, we would lose our moral high ground.
Border gored us. Like they border gored us. They tough talked and they flexed at the negotiation table.
So if you think that
you aren't friends,
if you think that we should, if you think we should invade all of Western South America, let us know in the comments.
I think they lost their ability to call us friend, big brother, when they flexed at the negotiation table and denied us our due from doing all the work to conquer Colombia, literally all of it.
Well, they did. They shot some people in the south of the country.
Nah, we took those 2 nations, and they didn't even touch Venezuela, and they stole a province. I think they've lost. It's realpolitik now, y'all. You picked the wrong time to flex, and now I think it's time to pay.
So we're building our great South American highway system now, bringing some
paving those dirt roads,
economic development to the region here. Yeah,
paving those dirt roads.
Mm-hmm. And this is where I was like, we got to hand it to our Marine divisions. Like, they go into these battles where it seems like they're going to lose horribly, and then they always end up pulling it out.
Problem is, they just keep getting pinned down in fights.
Yeah,
it was not so much that they were getting outfought; they never got outfought.
Yeah,
it's that we had the devil's own time getting them out of these engagements. It was just constant. Yeah, and that's where you got to give the Brazilian military credit; they kept the pressure on.
Yeah.
Like Joe Frazier style, man. They were in our face the entire time.
Oh, yeah, and then here's where the Cubans showed up to help us hold the port, which was desperately needed. Yeah, I thought we were going to lose this whole army because, they were so close to retreating. If they had gotten to this province before we had, we would have lost another 5 divisions,
and we would have been
question.
Yeah, we would have been in some really awful shape in this war.
Yeah, and we could have potentially lost an entire Marine army if we had not managed. That is where I was like, yes, because we got there before they did, which gave all of our remaining divisions in South America a clear path of retreat. That was
good ally.
Very dramatic moment there, yeah.
But good ally.
If the Cubans hadn't shown up when they did,
we would have been in some trouble. It's not guaranteed that would have gone against us, but we'd have been in some trouble. Definitely been in some trouble.
We're gonna lose some engagements here, but we have a clear path for a fighting retreat, which is exactly what we needed. All of our remaining divisions are going to make a clean fighting retreat to the coast, and we will be able to evacuate them. They're definitely keeping the pressure on us, but we have what we need. That guy almost got overrun.
Yep, almost, but he got out.
That was very close, and then fighting retreat, very clean, very ordered, very disciplined.
That's where not being level 1 or level 2 helps.
Mm-hmm.
When everyone, I've seen a couple times in the comments, people being like, why do you waste so much time in equipment training?
Yeah.
That's why.
Training in Hearts of Iron 4 is a big deal.
If they were level 1, if they were raw, they'd have been done. They would not have been able to execute that with any speed, and they would have been overrun.
So we're evacuating the Brazilian mainland. We're taking stock of our remaining forces.
Which are considerable, as you can see.
Yeah, we've determined we're going to need at least 3, if not 4 Marine armies to complete this invasion.
Yeah, we need to put pressure on them on multiple theaters.
Because our original plan was to land in Belém and then basically build up some infrastructure there so we could land a larger army. The problem is, I think... I'm not 100% sure, but I think the rule is that you have to own...
the whole state.
Like, at least 50% of the provinces in the state to actually build stuff there, so we would have had to expand out into the jungle in every direction. It wouldn't have worked. So, the logical place is around, like, the Horn of South America, because there's less jungle terrain, there's a little bit more supply, and we have naval... not just superiority, we have naval supremacy. We have over 500 ships in our navy at this point, not including submarines.
There's no nation in the Western Hemisphere that can do diddly to us as far as navy goes.
By the way, the heroic Cubans here are holding the port so that we can escape. It's a very... Dunkirkian sort of sacrifice that's going
I don't know if it's quite Dunkirkian considering they don't have an air force or a navy.
True.
Like we are
True.
Dominant.
They're only a danger on the land. If we get to the boats, we're fine. If they get anywhere near the coast, they're going to get blown up and dive bombed by our carrier fighters. So yeah, it's not quite Dunkirkian, but the fact that those 3 Cuban divisions helped us hold the port
was a big deal.
Definitely was instrumental in helping us.
And one of the things we also wanted to do is, as we saw with the Dominicans, they're trying to naval invade other ports. They're having trouble because, to be blunt, their troop quality is much inferior to ours. Their military technology and their troop quality.
Well, they're invading with like militia divisions. They're not Marine divisions, which is,
not good.
Yeah, troublesome.
So what we wanted to do too is by expanding into multiple theaters. By navally invading multiple ports, we give multiple spearheads for Allied militia divisions to land, Allied volunteer divisions to land, and start helping.
Yeah.
One theater of war in the middle of the jungle, like it was all we could do to get 3 Cuban divisions to help us hold a fighting retreat. If we take more ports and open up more salients into Brazilian territory, we figure the added bonus of that is we are going to get more help.
Yeah.
You'll see Cuban and Dominican divisions land we hold, and we can start overwhelming the Brazilian military. And
so this is where we're sizing up the Andean Confederation for could we kill these guys easier than we could kill the Brazilians?
The answer to that, by the way, is yes, in my opinion, because we have 20 divisions in Colombia and can literally just...
And we have planes that can hit Peru. We don't currently have an air base that can hit Brazil, which is a big problem. We have carriers, but we don't have a proper air base that can hit Brazil. So, yeah, there they are, holding the port to the last. Oh, that rubber would be super nice, too, if we can seize all of that rubber.
Oh my goodness, I know.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I want to bring South America into our integrated puppet sphere, though.
Yeah.
Is they are rich in resources like steel and rubber.
Yeah.
And we want it. We wants it, precious. We wants it.
We do wants it. This is true. So right now I'm kind of just going over where the borders of all the various states are and what the supply limit is in each of them. And we're planning out kind of a four-pronged invasion of the Brazilian coast, and figuring out a way that we can actually set up a supply line that will be able to support bringing our larger army in, and steamrolling across the continent, which is kind of what we need to do. These tiny little jungle ports are going to be jumping off points, more or less. because we don't really want to be fighting in the jungle. But we do need to hold those for strategic reasons.